Hey guys, now I don't really make recommendation videos. The films I've analyzed on the channel are in a way recommendations for you to watch, but I thought it would be interesting to make a recommendation video regarding a particular theme, and in this video the theme is about loneliness. And I've thought quite a lot about this list because I realized that most of the films in my list had lonely characters, but loneliness wasn't a major theme in those films. So after a lot of thought, here are 5 films about loneliness that I'd recommend you watch. There are no spoilers for any of the films, and it isn't a ranking. Now, onto the list. Firstly, we have a great double feature, the horror classic The Shining and The Lighthouse. Both are great movies that focus on the theme of loneliness, but not in a way that makes you feel for the character. But they explore the consequences of being alone and how it can make you go crazy. A family lives inside the Overlook Hotel that is in the middle of nowhere in The Shining, and two lighthouse keepers guard a lighthouse that is also in the middle of nowhere. And as the film progresses, the lack of communication, human interaction, and just the lurking mystery around the place eventually drives them insane. And the two films manage to make you feel extremely uncomfortable by not showing us everything and leaving the audience to imagine what horrors lie in the background. Both films conclude in an open ended way where it can be interpreted in any way you want. Next on the list is Anomalisa. Charlie Kaufman is one of the most talented people working in the creative industry today, and one of my favorite films of his is the 2015 film Anomalisa. This is a stop motion animation film about a lonely inspirational speaker who finds a woman living in the same hotel he is living in, and she completely shakes up his mundane existence. Now, I love how the film uses its medium of animation to build on its themes. Since the characters are toys, their face is designed as something that can fall off, and everyone in the film except the protagonist have different bodies, but all of them have the same face. But the woman he supposedly becomes infatuated with is the only person other than the protagonist with her own face, making her unique and stand out from everyone else. Our protagonist is flawed and has a lot of issues, but the film still managed to make me feel empathy for him. A fantastic film that deserves much more love. Next on the list is Lost in Translation. There are dual protagonists in this film. Bob is a movie star who comes to Japan to shoot a few advertisements, and Charlotte comes to Japan with her husband, who's a photographer. Both of them are lonely people that feel very alienated by their surroundings. Both of them feel incomplete and their lives are mundane. But this is also what helps them to bond and connect with each other. I love that the film doesn't make this a simple romance. There's a sense of intimacy between the two, but it's not romantic. It's a shared level of understanding of one's struggles and finding a little bit of life amidst the boring and routine. This is a very plotless film where the characters just do stuff and live out their life, and that isn't for everyone, but this specifically works for me. A film about two lonely people finding solace within each other temporarily. Just an outstanding movie, and it would make for a great double feature with the Spike Jonze's movie Her. And the final movie on the list is Inside Llewyn Davis. This is an extremely slow and personal movie, and it's the kind of film that you would watch when you feel lonely or hopeless in life, which most of us do, to be honest. The slow pace makes it feel like the film really isn't going anywhere, and that can turn many people off, but I think the pace helps us get into the head of our protagonist, who's just a man trying to get by. He's broke, searching for a job, and makes a little bit of money here and there, and he's basically aimless. It explores the internal loneliness we can feel when we're simply existing and getting by. It asks the questions such as whether whatever we are doing in our life is worth it, whether our dreams are actually worth achieving, and for the most part, the film seems bleak and hopeless, but in the end, we always find our home, eventually. So yeah, this was my list. All of these are great films that I love tremendously, and I recommend that you give them a watch. I did not include the films such as Her, Taxi Driver, Heat, and Wild Strawberries because they're all masterpieces that I love, but I've already made videos on them, so you can watch them if you like. The links to any of the videos and or blogs about any of the films I've talked about in this video are in the description. So thank you for watching this video. Do the usual like, share, and subscribe. It helps a lot and it's not very difficult to do. Alright, now get back to your life.